Subscribe to Intoxicated 3PO. Is that what they wanted? Yeah? Are we good? Did we do it?
Welcome to the channel, everyone. Listen, there has been a lot of talk, speculation, rumors. Bigger YouTubers, news outlets have been talking about this rumor, theory, possibility that Lucasfilm will, I guess, not decanon, but kind of decanon the sequel trilogy and erase some things. And now it's Newsweek just came out, and so I want to talk about it here on this channel. So let's just go right into that article first, and then I'll explain exactly what is going on, because you might be like, what is happening? What's this? What's going on? What in the world are you talking about? All right, let's just jump right in. Again, this comes out of Newsweek. A Newsweek article was just released, and in the article it says a new Star Wars rumor is doing the rounds, which suggests Disney is planning to effectively erase a big chunk of the sci-fi franchise's canon. A rumor started over, this is Doomcock, a friend of mine, a friend of this channel, who basically came out that he has a source from Lucasfilm saying that they're going to change the sequel trilogy and effectively change a lot of stuff about Star Wars, which is kind of crazy, but could possibly happen when you think about it. This actually could possibly be something. So we're just going to talk about it. It says in the article that there are no truth to these rumors. And here's what the article states as to how, if this was true, would do it. From the plotline of Star Wars Rebels, in Season 4, Episode 13, A World Between Worlds, the concept of the Veil of the Force was introduced, which creates alternative timelines. Which they could come out and say, well, the sequel trilogy was an alternative timeline. And what that means is when Palpatine, so this is how he was describing it. When Palpatine was falling, right, in Return of the Jedi, he was able to go into the Veil of the Force and come out in an alternate timeline. A timeline where Luke is a hermit and all these things are happening. And it was an alternative timeline that he was trying to take control of. And of course he failed. And then he went back into that timeline where he was killed. Again, these are all just kind of speculations, but this is how Disney or Lucasfilm apparently would do it. They would do a timeline. Now, I'm going to show you a clip from Doomcock's video, and I will also link his entire video in the description below so you could check it out and watch it for yourself.
Rey goes into the hidden room, and as you can see here, it is covered with broken mirrors. Shortly after Rey retrieves the Sith holocron, she catches a glimpse of movement in one of the intact mirrors. She turns and confronts an alternate version of herself, a dark Rey with a Swiss Army lightsaber. This evil twin actually emerges from the mirror and engages Rey in battle. Well, my friends, this is your glimpse into the Veil of the Force.
So now you understand how this could possibly work if this was true. Now that just opens up a whole, a whole other thought process of questions and everything else. Because the truth is, if they went this way, that there were different time dimensions, different portals, different alternate universes, that does in fact open the door for Disney to create all kinds of Star Wars content and not have to worry about affecting or touching the George Lucas Star Wars. That means they could do all kinds of different movies and say this is in a different time period. They can continue on the stories. They could give Rian Johnson his trilogy and say, no, this happens in another time period, another universe, or whatever, however they want to do that. And could that bring the fans back together saying, yeah, okay, you can have that time verse, we're gonna have this time verse, and you're gonna have this time verse, and bring all kinds of what if movies if they wanted to make. What if Luke was evil? What if Darth Vader decided to be good? It's just the possibilities. But that also has to ask the question about Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge, is the billion-dollar theme park of Star Wars, which takes place in between The Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. I know from my source, now I got sources at the theme parks, and I have been told multiple times that Disney feels they kind of made a mistake by limiting themselves, by keeping the timeline at Galaxy's Edge so small because of the popularity of The Mandalorian and other things that Disney is creating. They want to be able to open it up to give the fans what they want as far as what Disney is creating. Want to add The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda and all those things to Galaxy's Edge, which they can't really do at the present time because they wanted to keep everything in that timeline, which I personally think is silly. You should just make it about the movies. We can go visit the movies, go visit this, go visit that, and then, you know, that's it. You should have had every generation there so we could just enjoy Star Wars together. So, again, do I think this is going to happen? Personally, I'm going to say no. Could it happen? Yes. Now, I'm just saying, Doomcock has come out with some crazy theories that people were like, there's no way that could happen. But I remember a hashtag that went around Twitter saying Doomcock was right. Doomcock was right. Because for some reason, he does get some of these things, actually a lot of these things, correct. But in thinking about it, I'm like, it could work for Disney's benefit if they came out and did something like this. It could work for their benefit to give us alternative timelines. I mean, Marvel does it. Comic books do it. They have alternative timelines with amazing stories that people love. You know, and don't get me wrong, there are people that love this trilogy. They love this sequel trilogy. I can't stand it. And, you know, and that is one way to get around and you know, and just put it out there like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think this is just crazy? But is it possible? Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? Star Wars, what have we done to you that we have come to this? That's all I know. Thanks for watching, everyone. Catch you next time.